I'm actually doing the live stream here, but I'm going to record because I want to upload a topic I want to talk about.
Start recording.
I know it ain't got nothing to do with necessarily BVI pilots, but
Start recording. Checkbox not checked.
goddamn, these people that fake about being Marines and Navy SEALs and all this bullshit is so ridiculous. I got a funny one I want you to hear though. This is funny, so I'm going to record it while I'm live streaming.
Start recording. Checkbox not checked. Checked. Stop recording.
Alright, so we were recording this from BBI Pilots. I've been doing a live stream flying from Phoenix, Arizona over to Detroit.
Stolen Valor. Lockheed Martin Register.
We still got
distance to descent: 717
miles to go, an hour and 32 minutes.
Ops 27. Ops 27.1 point. Lockheed Martin registered 3PAR 3D registered V4. Sound off. Sound off.
Make sure I didn't hit something wrong here.
Distance to descent: 700 minus 10 feet per minute.
Okay, we're good.
Ops 27.1 point. Stolen Valor phony Navy SEAL.
Stolen Valors and
seek slide button play left.
You know, it needs to be more needs to be done with these people that fake.
Shut the fuck up.
You know, going on about being Marines and all this stuff that's not true. That's not true, and
What was that you were talking to, Jeremiah?
they need to.
No, Brett.
They need to pay for what they're doing, and people put their lives on the line for us, for our freedom, for the rights that we have today. It's all because of all the soldiers and the veterans, and all those that stand in front of us and say, I will protect, I will serve, I will not be afraid, I will not turn away, I will defend my country. And you get these idiots
Button next button play left parent. K right
that
parent.
seem to think that they're special when you're not. Check this out.
Pause left parent. K right parent. Pause left parent. K right parent.
Now, this is dealing with a phony SEAL corpsman. He's a terrible, despicable little sack. And I'm going to YouTube some of this, so I have a couple of questions to ask you. Now, you're a retired medical doctor.
Right.
And you were also a corpsman in the Navy.
I was.
And you were with the Marines in Korea.
That's right. 13 months.
And how many Purple Hearts did you get with the Marines in Korea?
1.
And then you went to SEAL team and fought during Vietnam.
3 tours.
And how many Purple Hearts did you get with SEAL team?
I think it was 4, but it might have been 5. I don't really remember.
So if we lined up a North Korean or a Chinese guy and a Vietnamese guy and a phony SEAL, which one would you shoot first?
The phony SEAL, of course.
That's it. Doc, when...
I might line them up in tandem and then shoot the first one, the Navy SEAL, and hope the bullet will go through the other two. In Afghanistan, and where the majority of Team 5 was taken out. Because that was the second crash, actually.
Team 5?
Crashes over there.
Look, listen, you. James, fucking listen up, dickhead. Class 199 graduated 1995, the same year you're talking you graduated high school. You're not listed in the SEAL database. I'm a retired Navy SEAL. I see this. Team 5 had nothing to do with any helicopter crashes. There is no guy named Alderman listed. I verified you real quickly through that because I'm a retired Navy SEAL. You should Google me and see what I do to dickheads like you that steal valor from SEALs. And I don't think flippin' Luttrell is going to like you talking about him and his water skills.
Nothing to say there, huh?
Because your name is Jim Madison, but your nickname is Mad Dog, and I'm about to see if you live up to that. Okay, so I want you to listen to me very closely. James Hoskins stole the class picture and the identity of Brett Shadle, who was killed in a parachute jump at Dev Group. Now, how does that make you feel? I understand you're a disabled Navy SEAL.
Yes.
I'm a retired SEAL. I'm not finding any listing of you in the SEAL database as ever being a Navy SEAL. Can you help me out with some of that? We'll straighten that all out.
Sure. I was with SEAL Team 5 and graduated with 099.
You graduated high school in 1996.
95, actually.
Did you know that Bud's class 99 graduated in 1978?
No.
Well, yeah, it did. There's no listing of you
Guys
up
in there
there.
telling him no when he's a real Navy
There's
SEAL.
no listing of you up
It was.
there under class 99. In fact, there's no listing of you in the SEAL database as ever being a Navy SEAL.
You got this guy faking all the bullshit.
I'm a retired SEAL.
On my face, if you look at my Facebook page, there is a foreigner, and right to the left of that is me.
And what Bud's class is that? 99?
Yes.
No, that's 236. That's Mike Murphy's Bud's class. That guy, do you know who that guy is in the...
Murphy. Yeah, I knew who Lieutenant Murphy was.
Not the guy in the black hat.
No, not the black guy. The guy that was wearing the off-color uniform.
Yeah, the dark uniform.
Yeah. Right.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, that was, he's from Japan. I'm trying to remember his last name.
That picture is class 236. That's Mike Murphy. A number of those guys are killed in that class. It's not class 99.
Well, I'm saying, Lieutenant Murphy was actually on the ground when he went up to go make a call for help.
Yeah.
Had him down Chinook. Took out over half my platoon and half my team.
Really?
They were on that stopper.
Really?
Yeah.
What team was that from?
Luttrell,
From Team 5?
that,
Team 5?
yeah, Marcos Luttrell was my also helped train Marcos
Wow.
Luttrell.
And this guy is going on, living in...
Button, pause, left.
Let me pause
left
it a
arrow.
second. Living in this fantasy world that he really was there. He really did this stuff, and he knows he didn't. And what you're going to find out later on in this video is that his wife even claims that he is, and she probably doesn't know any different, that he really wasn't. Because he probably told her, when they met, he probably told her that he was a SEAL. And obviously, if you've not been in the Navy, and if you're not a SEAL or a Marine, it's a lot easier to trick somebody that you've really been in it if you're wearing medals and ribbons and all this stuff. But if you've been there and you see someone that's not really legit, and it'll be, their patch won't be up on the shoulder where it needs to be, or it'll be down too far, or they'll be wearing all this stuff when, a SEAL's like, well, why are you wearing all that stuff? Normally we don't wear all that stuff unless we absolutely have to. You're wearing your dog tags, hanging them out like that. We don't wear ours around like that. We'd rather just tape them up so they're not bouncing around everywhere. We're not trying to show it off like we're something something big and bad. We are special, but we're not big and bad to brag about it. We've seen our best friends die. Our brothers and sisters die in bare arms beside us, bearing arms to fight. So, these stolen valor, these people doing this stuff, it's absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. In so many ways. I got a friend that he's a SEAL, and he's been a SEAL for, or was, rather. But point is, like he said, why people do this beats the hell out of me. And you got one guy that actually criticized. This guy's a SEAL, fought for our country, and this Thomas Leonard downs him for it. Puts him down for being a SEAL. Puts him down. A SEAL could creep up on you quicker than you. Before you could even blink your eyes, you wouldn't even know it. And you want to put a SEAL down. And people want to pretend to be SEALs. Or talk crap about them. Anyone that does that, you don't belong. You don't belong. That goes for you too, Thomas. Goes for you too, pal. I hope you hear this. And I'm telling everybody what you did. You criticized somebody for being a SEAL. You called him names that was uncalled for. And you're lucky he just didn't come to you and slap the stupidity right out of you. I'd have paid to see that. But you know why he didn't? You know why he's not talking to you? Or writing you back? Even after you sent a video? Wanting him to watch your little apology video? You're living in a world of fantasy. You, well, I could go down a list of those of you pretending that you're from different planets and all that. I won't get into that though. Anyway, let's stay on topic here. Check this out.
Button play left parent. Pause left parent. K right parent. Pause left
State your
parent. K right
purpose.
parent.
My purpose is this. I am out to down doggone phony fucking Navy SEALs just like my bro, Don Shipley of Extreme SEAL Experience. And that is a joint mission. And we mean to doggone take out every dipshit, scumbag, shitbag, fucking cheese dick on this planet that claims to be a Navy SEAL and isn't. That's our mission.
And if you contact Marcus Luttrell's family, they'll also back up the fact that...
What's this guy? This guy is so full of it.
Was SEAL Team 5.
How was Marcus as a student? Was he easy to teach, or was he a kind of a dumb guy?
Luttrell?
Yeah.
Hell, I honestly, even though I have a PhD in medical science, or molecular science basically, it was actually easier and smarter than me. The only difference was he kind of panicked. He had more panicking underwater than
This is funny now.
than most people did. When
What happens here? This is funny.
The underwater training. So, he just didn't
He's not prepared for the actual guy to be there.
When we were in the pool, that was his biggest thing.
Well, I thought you were training him as a corpsman. You were his BUD/S instructor?
We did, but we were all, no, but when he was having issues with jump school, and he was also having issues with the swim claws.
He's a lurker. He reads, he looks, and he's a big fucking fat, loudmouth, goofy bastard. And I'm gonna fucking end him. Damn. No, is that Marcus?
Yeah. Let me take thunder Don real quick. Oh yeah, Marcus wants his name.
Hey, dude, how you doing?
He sucked in the water. I'm saying he struggled in the water when he was tied up. But he struggled. The only thing I was good at was being in the water, sir. You know, when you had your hands tied behind your back and your legs tied up, the first couple times in, you panicked a little bit. But I'm not saying you weren't good in the end. The first couple times, you did panic. You don't remember that? Because I was corpsman on duty. I said I never had my hands and feet tied after BUD/S. If I did have after BUD/S, the hamster did panic. And I hamster didn't panic.
CMD.
Command day off.
Oh yeah, you panicked slightly.
Lockheed Martin registered 3R 3D registered T4. No smoking, sign off.
Command day.
Performance chart.
Unknown
Command day on.
When I came back from the mission,
No smoking, sign on.
I hit that damn trim wheel again.
Stolen valor phony navies.
Here, let me.
Seek slider slide. Seek.
and went on
8 minutes. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. 7 minutes 50. 7 minutes.
I never had
7
my
minutes
hands and feet
59
tied
seconds.
after BUD/S. If
Pause
I
left.
did have after BUD/S, the hamster didn't panic. And I hamster didn't panic at first base. Oh yeah, you panicked slightly.
Button next button. Pause left parent. K right parent.
If you pull up your performance chart, I guarantee it's marked.
Play left parent.
Anybody can say that. They can guess that you got marks on your. Come on now. This guy, even after he's showing him, look, Dude, you're fake. I didn't do that. He still goes on to be claiming he's done this stuff.
Pause left parent. K right parent.
From the Middle East, and I came back and went on a halo jump out in California, and that's when I got injured, and that's how I got my 100% disability. Was I hit the ground at terminal velocity, and if you've ever seen pictures of me next to George W. Bush giving me medals,
No.
have you ever looked me up and seen where?
And where would that be?
Vice Admiral Tracy actually came all the way out to San Diego and gave me a medal.
Where would
also, the McCon actually gave me a medal. He came in and gave me my Purple Heart, my last one.
Oh,
your
watch
last one?
this.
How many Purple Hearts did you get?
I got 3.
You got 3. He's got the head the size of a fucking pumpkin. He's claiming all this shit about you being weak in the water, Team 5 in snow trips, and graduating with Murphy. He can't get his Buds class right, and all these people pinning awards on him.
Every physician will tell you that the injury I suffered has nothing with my memory so bad. Hey, here's the deal, man. The fact that you're going through all this shit just tells us that you're lying. Because the real deal, we don't have to do that. Alright, it's just plain and simple, a couple questions, you're out and clear. You're busted, dude. Pull all that shit down off your fucking Facebook. We're talking about some shit that you're not even a part of or want to be a part of, just so you can boost your morale when you head out to the local
As line P3DV4 new weather updated. Dakota textual weather for Kyle wind colon 220 at 5 knots visibility colon.
Everybody that helped me. When you go through our training, the guys that you go through the training with and the instructors, you remember every single one of them, first name, last name. So you won't be throwing those HM, this, that, and the other. You tell them his full name, last name, and his nickname, okay? You need to quit all this shit before you get hurt, dude. I'm telling you, man. Keep going down this road, somebody's going to find you and fuck you up. I'll see you, Doc.
All right, Marcus, thanks, bro. You got to be impressed that I was able to speed dial Latrell, huh? How about that? There is no way to tell the twisted story of...
See, here's the thing about a SEAL. That they go through the hardest training, the roughest sets of drills and training than anyone else. They are, everything is taken from them. All the way to the ground. And then they build them back up. They build them to be fighting machines, warriors, heroes. And like that guy said, you remember everybody. You remember their first name, their last name. Hell, you remember even how to spell it. There's not one thing you don't know about your brother beside you or your sister. And that's a fact of the matter. You stealing Valords and stuff, you need to be in jail. You need to be in prison. Put a bunch of you idiots on an island somewhere. And then, in the middle of the night, we'll drop in about 10 real Navy SEALs. When there's 50 of you idiots, and they'll kill every one of you. They'll wipe every one of you out. And not give a damn because you made fun of them. You pretended to be something that you're not. You didn't earn the right to even talk about shit like that. Right?
Button play left parent.
Alright, let's watch some more here, guys. Here it is.
Pause left parent.
James Hoskins' phony SEAL claims in just a single video. It's going to take 2 of them. In part 2, James's military records come back. I requested them. And they tell a different story than James does. Here's scenes from part 2 of James Hoskins' phony Navy SEAL of the Week. You're a big lumpy prick, and you post up a bunch of shit.
You're as fucked up as 10 fucked up motherfuckers, dude.
It's us out with the CIA to hunt down Bin Laden in the mid-90s.
I've been lauding
Because
my ass.
your husband wasn't a SEAL.
My husband was a SEAL.
And then we got some asshole that has been in the military for all of 2 months before he got kicked out.
Which James Latrell, you are not.
His name, not James Latrell.
Oh, shit.
How about this? Tomorrow, late afternoon, we can call John McCain.
John McCain.
You're not disabled from a halo drop. I'll see you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well,
You're giving me a fucking headache, and I need a drink.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Seek slider 10 minutes 36 seconds of 12 minutes 52. Button pause left parent. Seek slider 10 minutes 36 seconds of 12 minutes 52 seconds.
Me driving the other day.
Hitting
Pause
the
left.
goose.
I didn't hit the goose. I did not hit the goose.
There's how
It's a
do you
hit.
not see a goose?
Because I was sitting over there in the
It's-
cheap seats.
it's
That's all
only
you
the-
got to do is just look straight ahead. But I was driving and I was looking off to the left. It's a pretty scenery. And then he's like, hey, Diane, there's a goose. I didn't hit it. But then you almost grabbed a hold of my steering wheel and screamed at me because I was about to hit a snake. I
you
run
don't
over.
see things in
I
the road.
saw that snake.
How do you drive?
I meant
and,
to run
like,
over
miss
that
a
snake.
goose? That goose was going. Oh my God!
That
I'm like,
goose
Diane, you
wasn't
don't see
doing
the.
shit.
You don't see the. You don't see that goose
It wasn't that
getting out of the
fair.
way. You damn near hit the guy with the road sign.
Replay. Button next left parent. Shift plus N right parent. Button
Yeah.
replay. Button next left parent. Shift plus N right parent.
Let's see what's next. You might not even be something. Just letting it
YouTube
play.
video. Seek slider 0 minute blank. Seek button pause
Episode
left
2,
parent.
James Hoskins,
Oh,
phony
here we
Navy
go.
SEAL of the week. Here's a recap of
Here it is.
episode 1.
Button next button pause left parent. K right parent.
This is real hair, by the way.
Play left parent. K right.
If y'all want to see more of this and more of
Lockheed
my,
Martin registered.
you know,
Lockheed Martin registered.
stuff on it, just let me know.
Sound on.
What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to pause my
Sound
sim.
Stole op 27 point op.
I'm going to stop the video. Listen, you ever see anybody out and they're pretending to be a SEAL or a Marine or anything like that? You call them the fuck out. Call them the fuck out. Make them feel absolutely miserable, humiliated. And, you know, you can even, if you're in a mall or something like that, grab an officer, because it's illegal. They should go to jail for pretending to defend our country when you really didn't. So those of you that do that, stop being pieces of shit. Okay? Stop being pieces of shit. If you can't be in the Marine because of a disability or something, there's all kinds of services that you can do to support those that are in the Marines. You won't be considered a Marine or anything like that, but you will be counted for what you are doing to help out your country. Don't be an idiot. Okay?
Stop streaming checkbox checked.
Simple as that. We're going to keep the live stream going.
Stop recording checkbox checked.
I'm going to stop this. Y'all give it a thumbs up. Help us share. No, this is not part of the BVI thing with flying and stuff, but it's just a topic I wanted to talk about. And hey, when you own the channel, you do what the hell you want, right? All right, we'll talk to y'all soon.
Stop recording. Not checked. Stop streaming checkbox checked.
Okay, back to the live.
Lockheed Martin registered. Prepare for Lockheed Martin registered. Prepare
How
3D
far
registered.
are? Let's
V4.
see real quick. Hold on. Let's see how far.
Pause. Sound on.
See how far we are.
Distance to descent colon 552/0:1:10:0.
552. How far is that?
Distance to descent colon 551/0:1:10:18.
An hour and 10 minutes. All right, y'all. We'll be back here in just a minute. I'll leave the stream going for you. Keep an eye on the plane.
letter updated. The code text evil letter for KBUM win colon 268 approved max visibility colon 10 plus SM left bearing 9999 plus M right bearing house colon located at 16,576 feet temperature colon 8.8 C dew point colon 1.8 C precipitation colon number portable timber colon 1019 MD left bearing 30.10 inches right bearing.
All right, had my food. I had my food. Now let's see how far we got to go.
Distance to descent colon 463/0 colon 0 colon 58 colon 4.
58 minutes.
Ops 27.1. Ops.
So let's go back to
Register. R3D register. Sound off. Ops 20. Stolen valor phone.
sounds
Stolen
off.
valor phony name. Button next button play left parent.
I'm gonna watch more of this stuff.
Pause left parent. K right parent. Pause.
Real hair. And we mean to doggone take out every dipshit, scumbag, shitbag, fucking cheese dick on this planet that claims to be a Navy SEAL and isn't.
No listing of you in the SEAL databases ever being a Navy SEAL.
Oh, yes, there was. And if you've seen pictures of me next to George W. Bush giving me medals.
That's such a
No.
joke, dude.
How was Marcus as a student? Was he easy to teach, or was he
Oh, we done
kind
seen
of a
this.
dumb guy?
Hey, here's the deal, man. The fact that you're going through all this shit just tells us that you're lying. Well, I'm saying, well, Lieutenant Murphy was actually on the ground when he went up to go
All right.
call for help.
Yeah.
Button next left parent. Shift. Play button. Banner land main land button button next left parent. Shift plus N button next left button mute
Today
left
we have
button next
the
left button pause left parent.
opportunity to talk to
Seek slider
a true
slide
hero
button pause left.
and a true man of commitment, Marcus Luttrell. Marcus, Navy SEAL,
This is the guy that he was pretending to be this guy.
lecturer. Please pick up his book, Lone Survivor. It's absolutely amazing. Also, Marcus, your new book is called
Service.
Service.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And also, we gotta give a big shout out to Mr. Rigby, this incredible lab. He's enjoying church. Marcus, in fact, a lot of people do that in church when I speak.
Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, he's just like,
I never understood why they didn't put recliners in.
I know it, yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
here.
That's right.
And I can hear
Yeah.
you. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
listening, but I can hear.
Anyway, and tell me about your dog, Marcus. So he's like trained
Yeah, he was
to be with you.
He was 2 when I got him. He was born in Southeastern Guide Dogs down in Florida. I got him after I had a service dog before him named Daisy, and she was murdered by 4 teenage guys.
I remember reading
Just
about that.
joyriding around.
Yes.
They weren't. Well, one of them was a teenager. They were old enough. They were grown men. They were over 18. So that's grown in my book.
That's grown in my book too.
And then I flew down and we got partnered up. I actually walked into the academy, and they tried to pair me up with a long-haired collie. This thing was this tall, and I mean, just a pile of fur.
Bet.
I live on a horse ranch,
Yeah.
So in a matter of about 2 minutes, this thing was going to have cockleburrs and mud and strung everywhere. I was like, plus we weren't really jiving too well.
Yeah.
And then they brought another one in, and finally they said, well, we have a dog that we tried to pair with 3 other people, and they just wouldn't take. He didn't get along, or they weren't communicating. And I was like, well, bring him in here. And they opened up the door, and he ran in and tackled me. And that was love at first sight. And we've been together ever since. We've only been apart in the 4.5 years that we've been partners, probably 3 times.
Really?
Because I had to go overseas.
Yeah.
And a lot of the places that I went had a quarantine, and I'm going to quarantine my dog. So, yeah, he's kind of his own man. When he's not wearing his vest, he's a straight up lab, and he just likes to pal around and do whatever he wants to do. When he got his vest on, he's all business.
Yeah.
So he knows the difference.
I have a friend of mine, Marcus, who lives in the Bahamas, and he has had some trouble down there. And a friend got him a dog like that, and he said he'll never have another dog. Never have another regular dog. He said that the dogs that are trained like that, just the way this dog is. And
oh yeah, there's something else. I had to go down and actually stay and live down there at the campus and learn how to. For a month, you have to live down there for a month to learn how to work them, just to understand everything that he knows. And plus, they're so intelligent. His brain is used to absorbing all that information. You got to be careful what you teach him, because they'll do it, especially when he's not wearing his vest. So he'll open up the door and just kind of.
Well, he's beautiful.
Thank you,
Marcus. You're from, and I've read your book, Lone Survivor. I recommend that book to everyone. Incredible book. One of the best reads that I've gotten involved in a long time. You're originally from East Texas, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have a camp. Our church does. It's a long story, but not to bore you with the details. One of the big things we do, we try to empower and teach young people, the values, character qualities.
Yeah, they made a movie on this. Again,
well,
the
there
name,
was about 1,000
the
acres in East Texas on Lake Hawkins
uh,
that this nonprofit had, but they couldn't do anything with it.
I think the movie's called
So
Lone Survivor.
Our board and people met with them, and we were able to acquire all that land for just pennies on a dollar, and we've now built a camp out there at retreat centers, horseback riding, paintball, basketball, fishing, whatever, and we just absolutely love that area. And so in East Texas, you grew up in what place?
I actually went to high school. I grew up and went to high school in Willis. Nobody knows where that's at.
No.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like Cut and Shoot. You know where Cut and Shoot, Texas is?
No, I've heard of it. I've
yeah.
heard of Cut and Shoot.
Everyone's heard of it, but no one's ever actually been there. And ironically enough, actually, you probably have driven through there. You just didn't know it.
Wow.
It's literally an old rusty sign on the side of the road that says Cut and Shoot, Texas, population, whatever. Not much, I think it says. And so I was there, and then I went to college up at Sam Houston State in Huntsville. So I lived, our ranch was right outside of there. When I was a boy, when my brother and I were growing up, till the age of, I think, 8 or 9, we lived on the other side of Denton and Pilot Point.
Really?
Is where our first horse ranch was.
Okay.
Because we would race our horses up in Oklahoma and a couple other places. And then we moved down here, about 3 hours south of here, and had another ranch. And that's where we kind of staked our claim, and that's where we were raised. So.
And you were, I remember too, you, as a young guy, always had your sights set on being a Navy SEAL.
It started when I was about 14, I would guess. And it wasn't my idea, it was my brother's.
Really?
He's my twin brother, so, but he's the older of the two. He's 7 minutes older than me, so he comes up, he comes up with the ideas.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we're going to be Navy SEALs. And I said, okay. And he was so motivated about it. You should have seen his face just light up, and he was telling me all this stuff about it. And I said, okay, sounds good, let's do it.
Well, that's amazing, Marcus, being that young to make that commitment, like we're all in, we're full on, and we're going to do this deal.
It was. It just seemed, the more we learned about it, the more we read about it and studied it, it just seemed like the right fit for our personality and our character, and everything else that we looked into. We never started anything that we didn't finish. Our father made sure of that. That was kind of one of the big premises growing up in my family. If you started something and you realized you hated it 2 minutes into it, it didn't matter. You had to finish what you started. You couldn't quit anything.
That's brilliant, Marcus. And no matter when I have the opportunity to talk, to people, especially young people, I say often that sometimes when
Lockheed Martin
people
registered.
tell
Lockheed
us,
Martin
we have an
Just
opportunity to
checking
do
our status
something,
here.
Distance to descent,
then we
colon,
meet people,
396 slash
maybe
0, colon, 0, colon,
secondarily,
48,
or
colon,
we have a
20.
situation
Exclusive
where we
info.
want to
48
extend
minutes, so we can
that
still
whole
listen to
vibe
this.
of like, okay, I started it, I'm going to finish it, come hell or high water. That is what so many of us are missing in life, and that's what's so inspirational about you, even as a young guy. And parents and authority figures, although not perfect, I've not always respected the people in authority over me, but I learned to respect the position.
Sure.
So even though, I know there are people here with parents and other authority figures, they're like, man, this guy's a jerk, or this lady, whatever. But still, what you just said is brilliant.
Yeah, I think what I learned is obviously my father was kind of the catalyst for that, and as I got older, I realized that, we started doing it on our own. And just like you said, even if it's a bad situation that you get yourself into and then you play it to the end, you're going to learn something from it.
That's
You're
right.
going to take something from it.
No question.
And at the very worst, it could be a funny story.
That's right.
So you don't know that, like, oh yeah, I was there. I remember that one.
Yeah.
I did that. But it was...
And Marcus, you also, I know your father played a role in that, but also too, I remember there was a guy that lived near you who was involved in special forces, and he took you guys under his wing.
He was a Vietnam veteran, and he just had a training camp, if you will, out on his property. And well before we got there, all the older kids were going out there. He would get people ready to go into the special forces. So that was a unique experience. That was one of those things I wish I could have quit, because it was tough.
I cannot imagine that.
Because when you first started, he didn't care about you. He didn't like you. You were more of a nuisance to him when you first got out there because you were behind everybody else. So you really had to. I remember, I think it's probably the first 2.5, 3 months I was there, I was the worst one in the bunch. I was the weakest. I was the slowest. And good Lord, I would pay the man. He would lay into me. He left me to die twice that I remember, and told me, he's like, I hope you die, and just walked off. And I was sitting there like,
And how old are you?
I was 14, 15 years old when I started, and then I did it all the way till I finished. I was 22 out of college.
With this guy?
Same guy. Mm-hmm. And then even after I got into the SEAL teams, when I would come back off leave or something like that, I'd bring some of my teammates home with me, and we could go over there, and Billy would work us out and get us ready to go back over.
Was that even as difficult as Bud in some ways, or not
it was
that
just
intense?
It was different, and I would say harder in some regards because I was young, and I didn't know. My dad, he was a yeller and a violent man, and he kind of threw it on me and my brother pretty regularly, so I could handle a whooping.
Yeah.
And I can bleed just like anybody else. That doesn't bother me. But it got to a point to where when I literally couldn't do the things he wanted me to do, it was affecting me mentally and emotionally, because I just thought I was weaker than everybody else. I don't like that.
Right.
I don't like the fact that, and I'm not saying I'm a Superman or anything like that, but if I see somebody who's stronger than me and something that I'm trying to do, I'm going to work harder till I'm stronger than they are. And that's what he taught us. He's just like, you want to be here? You want what I have? You want this? Then you need to work. You need to push yourself. And there were days where I literally would have to just completely sit down in the shower just to wash my hair. And I think my mother tried to take me to the hospital a few times because I was just so beat down. And it's like, no, I'm good. I'll heal up. I just gotta get back in there. And that's what he preached. He was just every day. Because if you're only here for a little while. So like, take full advantage of it. He goes, when you slide up to the pearly, he goes, when you get up there and you're checking in, he goes, you can either walk in there with a perfect, pristine body, and I'm sure they're going to look at you going, you didn't take advantage of anything I gave you. He's like, when my boys, Billy, when he referred to him as his boys, he goes, when y'all get up there, y'all are going to slide in there sideways, and they're going to go, good Lord, you took advantage of everything we gave you. It's baling wire holding us together. So.
Now, is he still alive, Billy?
He is.
Do you?
Absolutely. He has a new crop of guys. He has 4 or 5
to this
guys.
day.
Oh yeah. Wow. And I saw him the other day, and and I was talking to him, and he's just a ball of energy. He's not a big guy,
I can imagine.
and he's intimidating though. And he goes, he's just trying to get underneath my skin because he knows I can't perform like I used to because of my injuries.
Yeah.
Because used to, after we left, he would have new guys in there. He's like, I got somebody who can outdo you, who's better than you. And I said, really? All right, I'll be there tomorrow to go down there just to crush those little kids, just to make sure they knew who the alphas were still. And he came up to me the other day. He's like, oh yeah, I got a boy. You don't even know. He's good. He can roll. That's what Billy always said. He can roll, man. He might have you. And even now to this day, because my mind's still as sharp as it ever was.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I'll be there tomorrow. You can guarantee it. I'll call an ambulance, have it ready, because I'm gonna go till I die. You know, you're not gonna outdo me. But
Marcus, what did you were you involved in athletics growing up too?
I was. My father made sure that we played every sport. And Billy
As
was
line
real big
P3
on
DV4 new
that.
weather updated. Dakota textual weather for KJEF wind : 308 knots visibility : 10 plus SM left parent 99 plus M right parent clouds : none recorded temperature : 9.0 C dew point : minus 1.0 C precipitation : none recorded altimeter : 1019 MB left parent 30.09 inches right parent.
Disappeared after school into the darkness and just come around and we have our own little kind of thing. He's like, no, it's like flipping a switch. When you're not here, you're out there having a good time with all your buddies and everything like this. When you come here, it's time to go to work, and that stuff's gone. I was a small guy. I was a little bitty. My brother and I, we didn't start growing until late. We were late bloomers. When I graduated high school, when I was 18, I was looking at my driver's license the other day. My wife found it, and when I was 18 years old, I was 5'6", 154 pounds.
You got to be kidding.
You know, so
You were 5'6", 154, and now you're what 6'5"?
Yeah, I was 6'5", 270, but now after I've had my spine's not as what it used to be, so I'm actually shorter now, believe it or not. It's disturbing, but so and I think I've dropped about 40 pounds. So I'm on about 230 now, 6'3" and a half.
So this was after, obviously, 18, 19. That's when you guys.
We started. I grew another inch when I was 23, and then when I got into the SEAL teams, I was in the SEAL teams. I grew another inch, and then one of the things about being in our community is they tailor you how they want you. Like I walked in and I was a taller frame guy, and they're like, all right, we're going to put the weight on you, and you're gonna haul the weight, and you're going to be the heavy gunner and all that stuff like that. I was like, Roger that, let's do it, man. So they did, and.
So what's your favorite sport, Marcus? As far as growing up, was it football, basketball,
Baseball.
Baseball.
Baseball is my favorite sport because I was too little to play football. I was mean as a rattlesnake, but I just that doesn't really mean much when you got a Mack truck coming down the road. He just run right over you. You know what I'm saying? And so it kind of may bite the tire, but it's not going to do much. And so baseball. And my grandfather, he played professional baseball before he left for the war. He was in World War II. All the men in my family serve in the military.
Yes.
All of them, generations back, all the way back. And he would always, every time we were with him, he was a great man. He would watch ball games and he'd talk about, he was a third baseman. And you would hear stories about him playing professional baseball and the arm he had, and that first baseman just being scared to death when they hit it down the third baseline. So I was like, yes. So that's what we did all of that, and then my father made sure that we were adequate in defending ourselves and fighting. Never start anything, but if something gets started, make sure you finish it, and when make sure they don't come back for more, kind of deal. So he was real big on that. So that was part of our growing up process.
Now, Marcus, changing the subject, this is kind of a random question. My favorite thing in the world to do is fish. I'm sure you grew up doing some fishing, didn't you?
Sure, absolutely.
Bass fishing.
Everything.
My favorite type of fishing, though, I like fishing those small ponds, like in East Texas. That's some of the best. And I also enjoy fishing for alligator gar.
Sure.
Have you ever done that?
We have on our family ranch. We have the alligator hole, a gar hole is what we call it.
You're kidding.
And we just go out there and. You know how hard it is to catch an alligator.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things you just go out to hang out all day and play with the lines. But absolutely, I fish all the time and wake up in the mornings and we'll go hunt pigs, and then we'll spend the day kind of fishing around. We have 2 lakes on our property and about 50 or 60 ponds, I think. And we're just gonna jump over.
Is your favorite fishing bass fishing?
I'd have to say probably Or just one of those lazy days, just throwing
Yeah.
a cane pole in the water kind of deal. I actually like to go into the flats down on the coast.
I do too.
And go fishing for reds.
Oh, that's awesome,
it's
isn't
It's
it?
a great fight. Believe it or not, I used to get really seasick. I don't want to be a Navy SEAL if you get seasick, right?
Yeah, that's strange,
And that's not one of
Marcus.
those things you can
That's a
overcome
little-
that
yeah.
fear.
No,
it's not a
yeah,
fear.
that-
It's
yeah.
just like you're
It's
stuck with
reality, yeah.
that. And I remember when I first got into the teams, I would get seasick so bad and just underwater, throwing up in my regular.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. But anyways, back to the fishing story. Yeah, I
You
enjoy
like the
it.
redfish?
I do.
You know what you would like too? I got into this probably 20 years ago. I'm almost old enough to be your father, but 20 years ago, some people took me fishing like for redfish on the flats, you know, in Texas. And then I started going fishing in some of the areas in the Florida Keys, the real shallow water, the gin clear water with the big crazy fish, tarpon and bonefish,
Tarpon,
and hermit. And I've also had the opportunity to go a number of times to the Bahamas, but not where the tourists go. I mean, I'm talking out in the middle of nowhere. So if you ever get a chance to do that, if you like that, the thing about fishing like that is that it's not just fishing. You're hunting the fish. You're hunting. You're stalking, and you got to be quiet and you see them. And the reason I like I love bass fishing. Don't get me wrong, but the reason I like saltwater fishing is that the fish are big and wild. It's almost like, you know, when they take your fly or your bait or your lure or whatever, when they're running, they're like, okay, a barracuda could eat me, a shark could eat me. I just like it. Anyway, anytime I meet anybody from kind of, I like to ask about fishing.
Oh yeah, no, that's.
What's your biggest bass you've ever caught? You know,
I'd have to say probably 8.5, maybe 9 pounds.
big. How about gar? Have you ever caught like a giant one?
What my gar would call? Where's my wife at? I think 40 pounds. Not very
Nice.
big.
Yeah.
But you know how big they can get.
My daughter caught one, 157 pounds. She was
Yeah.
10 years old, one of our twins,
That's a good one.
out of the Trinity River.
Yeah. Well, that's where you go if you want to get the.
Oh yeah, giant.
They had one mounted on the wall. You know the old gas station.
Yes.
You can walk in there, and there was I think it was 222 or something like that. And they had it up on
Giant.
the wall. That was a big one.
I saw, this is my last fishing story. I saw something the other day. I saw this website. One day I want to get a replica of a full-blown alligator gar, and he's like eating a nutria, and it's a replica.
Let's take a look
It's
here real quick,
unbelievable.
guys.
Marker, Lucky,
It's
marker.
in his mouth.
Distance to descent, 290 slash 0, 0, 33,
All right, 33 minutes.
interview, dash loan, sir.
So we'll pause this here shortly and get back to the flying here.
And then you have the gar.
That's right.
So you get a full mount of yourself.
But yeah, Marcus here. This guy, he's
So Marcus, what did you major in college?
Believe it or not,
He's
business
blind
when I
now.
first got in there.
Business. I don't know exactly what caused his blindness. I know it had to do with
Although my father and I
when
didn't
he
have a
was
relationship, I
pretty
still
much left
wanted
there
to
laying.
still kinda
Didn't even know he was going to make it.
father, you know,
That's a
you
natural
wanted
But
to- it's a
yes.
natural
he did.
occurrence, and I really wanted to. And
Um,
I wanted to take over what I wanted to work with him and be beside him. I would
Just
wake up
read the
early
book
in
Lone
morning
Survivor, and that tells the story.
hang out with him before he started drinking, because my dad is one of the smartest men I've ever met in my entire life. I mean, his IQ was genius status, perfect scoring SATs and everything. So it made it real tough growing up for our grades.
I can imagine.
Try getting beat down because you can't spell a word right. It was kind of rough, but he. I remember one day I think he had come up for Parent Day. I was a sophomore. I might have been a junior. And he told me not to waste my time doing something like that, and that he had nothing for me, and all this stuff. Wanted to kind of crush me into a ball. I don't know. I remember that. So.
Marcus, what would you say to someone, because we have so many people that are watching this right now, that will watch this and that are watching this right now, who have hellacious family situations. And obviously, no family's perfect. Of course,
It's not.
you
I
went
mean, I'm a
through-
father now, so I know.
You know.
I
you
tell
know.
my wife every day, I was like, I'm the most miserable. I'm terrible. I'm a horrible father. Good God. And, you know,
Yeah.
my kids don't even talk yet. Well, my son's 2.
Yeah.
So
I think we've all felt that way, Marcus. I mean, I have before. So what would you say though, growing up in a family like you did, not to get too detailed, but what would you say generally to encourage people like they're looking at you going like, man, my father, my mother, they're this, they're that. I mean, what would you say?
Sure. I mean, your parents are there to mold you and guide you, and if you don't have that or whatever, my brother and I molded our character and the way we would live our lives as a direct opposite of what my father was.
So you can learn what not to do.
Right. I don't run a cop out to people who's like, well, my father beat me, and this is why I'm a serial killer.
Yeah.
My father beat me every day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, first time I ever got knocked out was by my dad. So I don't believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have anger issues. Well, I mean, when I was working, it was a different story because I got paid to do that. But anyways, I've never even raised my voice to my wife. She's never seen me angry. I've never cussed at her or anything like that. She's the most important thing in my life. So are my kids.
That's great.
And I don't believe in that. So I mean, the only
so
thing I can tell
that.
somebody,
No,
right?
That's great.
If they're dealing with that, is just to stay focused and keep the course and know that you're better than that. And I mean, sure, anybody can cop out and be like, well, I was dealt a bad hand.
Yeah.
So what? Everybody is. Life's tough. Suck it up.
That's right.
And just push forward. And that's what we did.
I like it. Marcus, so from there, from college, you went into, I mean, just fast forward it, the Navy SEALs. I mean, and you have to go through BUDS, which is, but they have to pick you out, and you've got to be something else just for BUDS to even consider you. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Not like
I mean,
you
you don't show at the door. Hey, I'm
Yeah,
here.
right.
Yeah, that doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
I don't think. At least I've been out. It better not be happening. But
Yeah.
no, there's a series of tests, mental, physical evaluations, and it's pretty hectic just to qualify to even go to that school. And then that's when it starts. But just to get your foot in the door is kind of it's a hard process. And then once you get your foot in the door every day, or I'd say every second of every day, there's a chance you're going to be gone. And I think that's one of the things that makes the training so tough is just knowing that in the back of your head, like any second now I could be gone for whatever reason. Injury, they don't like me, they want to, whatever it is, I'm out of here. And if you want something so bad, you were literally put on this planet to do that job, and it's in the hands of somebody else, no matter how hard you try. I told them first, I made a point to go up to the instructors. I said, you're going to have to kill me to get me out of here. I'm not going anywhere. And they were like, well, all right, we'll try and get that done. And they did. So they tried to kill me.
So you told the instructor that?
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I was new. I was young. I was like,
yeah.
hey, I'm beating on my chest.
Yeah.
You're going to have to kill me to get me out of here. That was the stupidest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Marcus, that was hilarious in your book when you talked about, because you said you're not a natural runner, the distance and running, and that was with the sand and the boot, and it just,
Man, yeah.
that was hilarious.
I had a lot of crosses to bear when the thing about BUDS training is that no matter who you are or what kind of athlete you are,
They'll find the weakness.
they'll find it and they'll exploit it.
And
Well, I
you're-
had plenty of them.
Okay, what were your weaknesses, Marcus? Obviously, we know
Yeah,
your strengths.
the only thing I had going for me when I got in there is I could swim like a fish. And
Now, where did you learn how to swim in East Texas?
well, my father was a collegiate swimmer.
Oh,
and
okay, well.
Eagle Scout and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So apparently, I don't remember this, but when we were young, my dad took my brother and I by the back of our shirts and threw us in this river/pond, and my brother drowned and wound up in the hospital. And somebody pulled me out. This is a way of saying something kind of deal. And but we learned how to swim.
All right, let's
and
Lockheed
that's what I was
Lockheed
looking
Martin.
at.
Distance to descent colon 237/0:0:27 colon exclusive
Oh, we got
exclusive
27
interval.
minutes.
The
That
bar
was
and everything,
nothing.
it was like around the oak. I was like, yeah, I can do this. But yeah, the running, because I was a bigger guy. I
Yeah.
started to grow and put on weight and everything, and you get these little 5'9", 150 something, just cutting a hole in the wind. I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever, dude. All right. But
That was your weakness, running.
it was my weakness.
Yeah, Marcus, I like that. I like that ink Texas frog. That's cool.
Thank you. Yeah. My brother though, he could run a hole in the wind. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know what.
Is he tall like you?
We're the same size.
He's just genetically faster.
I don't know what it is. I think he likes doing it. I don't like to do it. And
I
I
don't
think
like
that has
it.
a lot to do with it. If you
Yeah,
don't
if you
like
don't
something,
like
you're
it,
not
yeah.
gonna really.
Yeah.
So I'm a slow runner for a SEAL. I'm probably a decent runner for
Yeah, I would
kinda-
imagine.
But oh
But
yeah,
swimming is your thing.
that's my thing. I got in the water and it was just see you later. So and see, I think that was a big thing. I always heard about the SEAL teams and everything like that. I'm like, Navy SEAL, it's got to be water. Everything's going to be water.
Right.
Yeah, no, about half and half. When you're
Really?
going to, yeah, you have to run to get to the water.
It's true.
You know, I didn't think about that.
No. Marcus, growing up, I'm sure you hunted a lot. Is that where you became such a, I mean, you just have the natural God-given gift
I did.
to shoot well?
And my father, he was real big on, and my godfathers and my uncles, that was a big deal to be able to shoot accurately at long distances. So I started doing that. I mean, I think I was carrying a toy rifle before I could even walk. And then as we got progressively older, my dad, he would say, okay, you bumped up to this rifle, to this rifle, to this rifle. And then they would say, we would go out. The way it worked is there was a running river on the backside of our property, and all the men would go out and drink beer and then throw the can in the water, and then we had to shoot it as it was going. That's how we started to learn how to shoot. So they could get drunk and we learned how to shoot. It's probably a win-win for everybody, I guess. But that's where it all started.
So Marcus, so you had, how many people in your BUDS class started the class? How many people started with BUDS and how many made it?
164 started and 10 made it. And my brother had 254, I think, and 16 made it.
Whoa. And you broke your femur.
I did.
How did that happen?
It was after Hell Week, and we were doing this evolution called the Monster Mash. It's kind of a hoo-yah type deal. You run 6 miles, you come in, you jump in the ocean, you swim a mile and a half, you come back, you run an oak course, you do the 80-foot rope climb and everything. Well,
At 93 DV4 new weather updated. Dakota textual weather for KVLA wind : 313 at 9 knots visibility : 10 plus SM left parent 99 plus M right parent clouds : broken at 4200 feet temperature : 2.6 C 2.
and I did the whole thing, and I tried to swim.
Clouds
with it. I
broken
swam
at
out
4200.
and was swimming through the ocean, and I didn't make it the whole mile. I started to sink, so I towed that thing in, and I came back, and I had to do the 80-foot rope climb. So I put my tire back on and had water in it, and I climbed to the top of the rope
With a
When I-
tire?
Yes, sir. And when I reached up to grab you got to hit the top of the I-beam. That's when you.
Yes.
And I started to slide, and I fell. And I fell from the top of the rope all the way down. And I landed in the sand on my feet, and I rolled over on that tire. It was kind of propping me up. And the instructor was saying, "You want to quit? You going to quit? Get out of here." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to quit." And I got up on the rope, and I climbed back up. Well, by the time I got out to the rope, because I was carrying that tire, everything was the ropes were real slippery and wet and sandy. And I crawled up again. I got to the top. I hit the rope, the I-beam, and I fell again. I started to slide. I actually wrapped my arm around it so I wouldn't fall straight down, and it just kind of degloved my forearm. And then my arm finally fell out of the rope, and I fell again. And when I hit the ground, I fractured my femur and my pelvis. So I just limped off on it. I didn't tell him anything. I felt it. It felt like I had pulled my groin.
Yeah.
Is what it felt like. And I said, I'm okay. And then, they went to surf torture me because I fell. And then I ran on it for another 2 weeks. We went to second phase and a dive phase. And in our first 4 mile timed run, I was way in the back. Well, I was always in the back, but I was way back. I think I hit 3 miles at 45 minutes or something. And it was pitch black. I couldn't see, and it was still dark outside. And all of a sudden, these headlights come up, and the instructor said, "Who are you?" And I was like, "It's Latrell."
Yeah.
"What are you doing back here?" I was like, "I think I pulled my groin." And they were like, "Well, get in the ambulance, the suburban ambulance." And they were like, "Wait a minute, first go get Wet and Sandy." And I was like, "All right." So I had to go get Wet and Sandy down in the ocean. I get back in there, they take me to the hospital. I get a bone scan, and I had a 13-inch vertical crack down my femur. I had 11 stress fractures on this leg, 7 on this one, and my pelvis had been cracked. And they were like, "We're going to have to roll you." And I was like, "You can't do that. I can't be rolled. I can handle it." And they're like, "No, I'm sorry." So they double rolled me. And when I was there healing up, I was on crutches. I was but I was still getting beat. I mean, I would crutch up into the compound. The instructor would be like, "Go get in the surf." So I was laying out in the ocean in the surf my crutches up like this. It was just. But they finally said when it was time for me to class up again, they're like, we're going to send you to the hospital and get another bone scan. If your femur's not healed up, then we're going to drop you. I said, no, it's fine, I'm good. And some of the instructors, they had started to take a liking to me. But I was like, no, I'm good. And I passed my class up run, and I got back into the class and started, and we got all the way to around third phase. And
Hey,
it got to
John.
the point to where at night I would take ace wraps and frozen peas, and my bed was elevated at the foot, and I would put frozen peas from my ankles to my hips and ace wrap them, and I'd sleep like that. And then I was just chewing the 800 milligram Motrin, and they would have to, my suite mate would have to wake me up 35 to 40 minutes earlier before everybody else just to pick me up, so to start walking. So my
Lockheed
legs
Mark.
would carry me up
Distance to
the
descent:
mountain.
178/0:0:21:5. Exclusive interview dash.
To my belt.
We'll pause this when it gets a little bit closer, guys.
And
Uh,
I would fall
I get to
down
about
and,
50 miles, we'll pause it.
it was
Because I got to focus
a
on
small class now,
landing and all that.
Button next button. Pause
I got
left.
through it, but it wasn't because I did it as a team. We did it as a team. If they wouldn't have helped me, I couldn't have made it through. My legs were too badly damaged, and I kept showing up, and the instructors saw it. They saw him pushing me, and by this time, like I said, we were in third phase, and the class was so small that they considered that an act of teamwork, and they liked that. In the beginning, you never got away with that, but because I'd already been through most of the training. They were like, okay, you're good. But and then once we graduated, I had time to heal up, and I healed up stronger.
So we went through more and more training, Marcus. Then you go into Operation Red Wing. Okay. The Navy SEAL creed, I will never quit. And in fact, team never quit. There it is. I will never quit. My nation expects me to be physically harder, mentally stronger than my enemies. If knocked down, I will get back up every time. I'll draw on every remaining ounce of strength to protect my teammates and to accomplish our mission. I'm never out of the fight. Wow. And that's just all about commitment. You learn that growing up, and that was solidified during buds and just your life. I heard you say one time that by yourself you're kind of nothing, but with the team, that's when you know, wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just love in your book, Lone Survivor, talking about the love and commitment that you guys have and had for one another is awesome. I mean, it really is.
We die for each other, so
Yeah.
it doesn't get any more.
No. So, Marcus, when you went to when you're on this mission, Operation Red Wing, so I guess you're thinking in your mind again, all right, there's a great chance I'm going to die. You knew, even before, was that, I don't want to put thoughts into your brain, but what are you
wrote
thinking?
that check a long time ago. I didn't care about. I never thought about dying.
I like that line. I wrote that check a long time ago.
Yeah, we don't think about that. And once you accept the fact that you're gonna die, everyone's gonna die. What do you care when it is? And if you do things right and you live life every day like it was your last one, you don't have anything to look back on and regret.
That's right.
So when we're over there, it's just a matter that it's when they turn our light off. And once you accept that, you would be amazed how much harder you can fight.
When did that happen in your life? When did you write that check? Was it a process, or do you remember, okay, this is the day?
The day I checked on board in my first SEAL team, I was like, okay, it's time to go. And then, I've almost died in training more times than I died in combat. So,
Really?
yes, sir. I don't think about it. I'll just be laying in the hospital and just like, get me out of here, heal up. I'll be stronger. Every time you heal up, you're stronger. That's the way you can just feel yourself getting stronger when you've been hurt and you're laying there and you're healing up. You can actually feel your body getting stronger and And I don't know, I just kind of takes on that superhuman form and just like, okay, I'm back. Let's go. And then I'm going to go harder and faster than I did this time. And you don't dwell on the bad
Lockheed,
stuff.
Lockheed, Mark.
Right.
Distance
So
to descent,
through
143/0:0:16.
Red Wing, Mark,
Exclusive interview.
you
Almost
found
there,
yourself
guys.
in the Hindu Kush Mountains. And there's 4 of you guys, and you were going to kill or capture this Taliban leader. And all of a sudden, I don't want to give the book away, your story, but all of a sudden you found yourself surrounded by all of these Taliban forces.
All right, we're going to pause,
Button, pause, left, play left, Lockheed Martin, Reg, sound on.
and we're going to focus on this now. We've got
Distance to descent, 137/0:0:16:4.
16 minutes to go.
Exclusive off 27.1.3 left through dash rule FS Airlines 02 off act RTE legs 1/4 dash B act RTE legs 1
Last night when I did this,
act RTE 077 degrees 59.6 NF
59 miles on this waypoint.
1 PHP.737/FL 350 017 degrees 32 WODD.744/FL 350 043 DERBN.741/FL 350 04 Snake.740/FL 350 05 Total 251/FL 337 0475 Total 251/FL 337 045 Total 251/FL 337
All right, so yeah, 37,000.
and RTE legs 1/4
I'm hoping that it doesn't do what it did last night. I'm not sure what had us going so slow because,
280 knots indicated.
well, we're at 280 knots, so that looks good.
Distance to descent 125/0:0:14:40
All right, 14. Real quick, somebody was asking me about TFM, and I don't get told nothing any more extra than you do. So, you know, if an update is available, the best way to find out is just go to the page. You know, look at what you've got, and you know, if there's something new, it'll be there. I can't tell you what's coming out on the next update, okay, because I don't know. I've not really spoke to Andy that much, and it's been a while since I've talked to Jason, but you know, he stays busy. He works all week. He gets, you know, time to do a little bit on the weekend, but that's about it. And really, I'm in that same situation. I'm Monday through Friday, I'm working, doing school, plus, you know, I try to make time every day to at least get a flight in or something, you know, a review or something. So, again, just check the website. You know, that's the best way to do that.
Mid cursor. Distance to descent 107/0:0:12:29
Alright, so 57 miles until we're at that 50-mile range. Well, actually about 67.
Poland 101/0 Poland 0 Poland 11 Poland 41.
All right. Let me fix. There we go. Almost there, guys.
Distance to destination Poland 220/0 Poland 0 Poland 25 Poland 57. Distance to descent Poland 80/0 Poland 0 Poland 9 Poland 28.
All right, 80 miles.
And line P3DD4 new weather updated. Total textual weather over Cayman Poland 290/21 knots gust into 29 visibility Poland 10 plus SM left bearing 99 plus M left
Oh
bearing.
boy,
Knots
we
Poland,
got
scanning
wind
3100
gusts.
feet, overcast at 4200 feet temperature Poland 2.0 Z dew point Poland minus 2.0 Z precipitation Poland number 4 altimeter Poland 1013 MB left bearing 29.91 inches right bearing.
Oh boy. We have got
Line Poland 299 at 66 knots gust at 0 knots.
no wind gusts right now, but there's a report of it. It's coming.
At RTE leg 1/4-BMDG7 Lockheed Martin register R3D register D4. Left bracket GSX right bracket GSX is not available while cruising left bearing. Higher than 10,000 FT.
Still can't get to call my weather. I don't know why. Different views there.
Distance to descent Poland 60/0 Poland 0 Poland 7 Poland 28.
60 miles. I know we got some wind and stuff happening.
Normal cursor.
view that we want. Alright. That's the front window view, so this is the good view here so I can see
Line forward 298 at 64 knots. Custom. Heading forward 36. Line forward 298 at 64 knots. Custom 0 knots.
okay.
Distance to descent forward 44/0/0/5/29. No smoking sign off.
Sorry about that, guys. I wanted to test something else too. I got time.
Run time off. Copy. Notepad. Copy. Stop. Text available. Lockheed Martin register. RVD register. D4. Lockheed Martin register. Lockheed Martin register. Lockheed Martin. Documents row 1. Documents info. Sim install files. Sim in file. Files view list. FTSFX line net. Files from net. Server. FS-ATC-channel line 1 point. Files view list. F. Select. FS-ATC-channel 1 to 1. Take create. Normal cursor. Files view list. Constant. Date on. Constant. Media to occur. 830. Dual up PDF. Red CSV. FS-ATC-channel.x6 of 13. Take create forward. Main cursor. Overflow. Run as a mid. Run as a mid. Files view list. App start cursor. Normal cursor. FS-ATC-channel 1.
565, Cunning approach 126.6.
FS-ATC-channel row 1 column. FS-AT. Red.csv. FS-ATC. FS-ATC. Lockheed Martin register. Lockheed Martin register. RVD register. Landscape. Distance to descent forward 24/0/0/2/58.
Descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Pressurization. Set. Recall. Checked. Auto brakes. Set.
Good 584.
Landing data. Checked. Altimeters. Checked. Approach briefing. Completed.
Unknown cursor.
That was 2157. Remember, you got her precise. Double knock and 1 9 mile.
Checklist complete.
That was 2157. So visual approach from my 7 right.
Visual 7 right. 157.
Approach down 13 Bravo. If you want to get this via the P1, we have information from you. Target 108 Bravo Kilo. Strike visual approach over 7 right. Maintain 280 knots greater till Duke. The pilot speed after Duke. Base shore, faster till Duke, Eagle fly, expect 7 right, X-ray Bravo Kilo.
Distance to descent forward 14/0:0:1:47.
All right, you guys, we are looking good here.
2157, reduce speed of 172.
Photo 17, Shuttle 2127.
Approaching top of descent.
2, maintain 280 knots greater for that. 280 or greater, total, American 572. United 584, just to maintain 3 down. United 5000, 2584.
West at 80, RTE legs 1/4, RTE legs 1. RT 047 degrees 9.1 NF 1 forward, Joker 251/FL 338. Lockheed Martin Regiment, minus 10 feet per minute.
United 584, range 050 to join final, division approach, 27 range. 050 to join for individual sub-range, United 584.
Line forward, 250 knots, gust of 0 knots. Line forward, 292 knots, gust of 0 knots. Minus 1647 feet per minute.
Speed brake arm.
0.74 speed box visible, wait cursor. At RTE left at red, at RT 047 degrees 9.1 and 1 forward, Joker 250
11 o'clock, 10 miles northbound,
RTE 34,740 at RTE at RT 047 degrees 9.1 NFG. 1 forward, Joker 251/FL 338. Lockheed Martin register, R3D register, 33,800, minus 604 feet per minute. Minus 530, 34,690, 33,750, 10 4, 1,008, 29.76 inches knots.
American 439, approach expected with approach from way
34,276, minus 909 feet per minute. 34,203 feet AS, minus 1040 feet per minute. Altimeter forward 34,096 feet AS, minus 1214 feet per minute. At RT 047 degrees 0.1 forward, Joker 251/FL 338. Lockheed Martin register,
heavy, maintain 250 knots,
250
total right, John Tom. American 572 and Gino, reduce speed 2 and maintain 250 knots.
One problem is
Gino, reduce what speed, sir? American 572 and Gino, reduce speed to 250.
being able to hear the volume just
Okay, 50 is Gino, American
at RT
572.
be
better.
At RT 055 degrees 20.1 forward, 251/FL 267.
Low approach,
Lockheed Martin register.
Speed brake arm.
251 speed box visible, 32,000.
Transport division of 26 heavy, approach expected with approach to runway 8.
At RTE left at R 055 degrees 20.1 forward, 251/FL 267. 251/FL 265/FL 267 space. Lockheed Martin record, 33,000, 32,000, minus 430 feet per minute. Minus 525 feet, minus 600 feet per minute. Minus 699 feet per minute. Minus 801 feet per minute. Minus 879, minus 500
American 442, traffic on back to Gallagher Bridge 126.6.
256, 33,400, 32,000, minus 948 feet per minute. Altimeter forward, 1,729, 33,314 feet, 32,004, minus 1096 feet per minute. CDU message displayed. Half of G.
439, reduce speed to 230.
169 feet ASL.
See, now the thing is,
Lockheed Martin register. Spoilers are cracked. 33,257 knots in. At RTE leg headed red only. At RT 055 degrees 12.7 NF. 1 pole. 251 slash FL 267. 052 pole. CLRIC 280 slash FL 200 FL 230.
I don't get that.
CLRIC 280 slash FL 200. 80 slash FL 200 space. Lockheed Martin register. R3D register.
Speed brake arm.
Minus 138 feet. Minus 232. Reduced to 210.
Travel 10 o'clock, 8 miles northbound of beach 1900 at 8,000. Reduced speed to 200.
Speed box minus 180. Minus 213 feet per minute. Minus 280. Minus 335 feet per minute. Minus 440 feet per minute. Minus 530. Minus 520. Minus 646 feet per minute. Minus 735 feet per minute. Minus 840 feet per minute.
Expected reach approach to runway
Minus 938. Minus 991 feet per minute. Right on. Minus 1102 feet per minute. Minus 1171 feet per minute. CDU message clear.
572, cutting approach 126.6 traffic impact.
Heading full 50. And left display. Left 5. At left 6. 055 at left 7. At RTE legs 1 slash 3. At R 055 degrees 5.2 NF. 1 pole. 250 left 6. 052 degrees 14 point left 5. 2 pole. CLRI left 4. Lock left 3.
I'm gonna try something
Left 2 spoilers are
because this.
Up 2.
Approach 3175,
258 knots in right. 259 knots.
3175, approach expected reach approach to runway 8.
Minus 23 feet per minute. At RTE legs left red only multi-line selected at RTE legs 1 slash 301. Rev page button, fix and fix, start right, hold button, step R, legs button, step R button, rest. Hold, drop, fix, and fix, rev, fix, and red, step slash R, and man 1 hold, less than KVHXR greater. Man 2 hold, KDTWR greater. Man 1 hold, BON, KDTW arrivals 1 star 1 hold, BONCZ 2.21 DL0 3R. Man 2 hold, BONCZ 2.22 LLC 0 4L. Man 3 hold, BONCZ 2.22 ILSD 0 4L. Man 4 hold, CRAKN 2L 0 4R.
Southwest 565, approach expected reach approach to runway 8.
Execute key available. Star KDT double star 1 colon CRAKN 2 less cell grade L 0 3R. Keys 2 colon 2.0 for trans 3 colon FBRRL 2 BR trans 3 colon FBRRL 2 BR DER. 3 colon FBR Mac 4 colon 3 2.0 Mac 5 colon L3 Lulu. Mac 4 colon 3 2.0 3D work Mac 3 colon FBR trans 2 colon Q 2.1 colon CRAKN 2 less cell grade Star KDT star 1 colon CRAK trans keys 2 colon supply on slash operator trans 3 colon BRDER Mac 4 colon Murder Mac 5 colon Blue 26 colon Lesseration 25 colon Blue 25 colon Blue Mac 4 colon Murder Mac 3 colon BRDER Mac 4 colon Murder Mac 3 trans keys 2 colon supply on slash operator trans 2 colon trans keys slash S 1 colon CRAKN 2 less cell trans keys 2 colon supply on slash operator trans 3 left 2 trans 3 colon BRDER Mac 4 colon Murder
coming tower 120, can I get it?
Right at RT 051 forward, X 4 dash slash 6 dash 038 degrees 20.9 NF 2 colon AJNDL 200 right 1 0 2 colon AJNDL 280 slash 17,000 FL 210
Okay.
32,040 31,000 16 feet per minute and 1 10 feet per minute minus 7 feet per minute minus 13 feet per minute minus 3 feet per minute at R 052 degrees 6.8 NF Lockheed Martin
That was 1310 when I was
minus 26 feet per minute.
Speed brake arm.
That was 1310, the visual post to right 10, 19, 1 0 knots. No fault.
Left 7, left 8. Attitude total disabled. 31,000, minus 249 feet per minute. Speed box visible. Minus 200 feet per minute. Minus 109, minus 200 feet message here. Minus 220 feet per minute. Minus 210 feet per minute. Minus 194 feet per minute. Speed box blank. CDU 31,900. Battery 1,230. 36 feet per minute.
See, you say Pat, unachievable, but it's got to be something to do. I don't know. I don't get it. I've never had problems like this.
Lockheed Martin register. At R 0 4 AJNDL 280 slash 17,000 FL 210. 01 4 AJNDL 280 slash 17,000 FL 210.
Southwest 2167, pass 43 to 2191. Seven is not. So advised, Southwest 2167.
Minus 807, minus 804, minus 696 feet from
Speed brake arm.
666.
Papa, would you be the one that
Engine
doing
oil
the
is full,
full
engine
maintain
tank 666.
Hold on, 170, then down to
Okay, but
5,000.
rest hockey mark register. Oil is full, 100. Minus 315 feet from speed box visible. Minus 480, minus 550, minus 646 feet.
Getting down to that altitude, it's not following it the way it should. I don't understand what's going on.
30,600,
Company
31,300, minus 1076 feet per minute. 30,600, 31,200, minus 1060 feet per minute. Minus 1043 feet per minute. 31,100, 30,400, minus 981 feet per minute. Minus 958 feet per minute. Minus 932 feet per minute.
Number 60, Victor, expect me to look up from my
30,270,
I'll put it on request, but for now, expect from my 8.
I wonder, hold on. Vertical speed. VNAV.
No smoking sign off.
VNAV. VNAV. Hold on.
Correction, Southwest 859, we're just going to 0, coming across 120.4.
Electrical weather, fuel weather 1 level.
We're going
FCD 1. And force, right force, and left FD jet, right FD jet, up, not and arm jet, oxygen jet, normal, and 1 off button. Speed and selected 200, speed off button. Speed INTV button, altitude, altitude, level change off, all INTV button, level change off button. Altitude and selected 3, level change off, all INT, controls off button, vertical speed and PS button, and cursor. Vertical speed and selected minus 6, PS
Going
button.
out, Papa, just going to maintain speed down. Going to maintain 3,000, 1 Alpha.
VNAV off. VNAV on.
30,000 feet. Heading and selected 78. CDU message clear. Altitude PS button. Vertical speed and control off button. All INTV button. Level change off button. Altitude and selected 3,000. CD speed INTV button. And speed off button. Speed and selected 200. And 1 off button. And arm jet oxygen jet.
1310, traffic tower, 120.9, negative. Cross down, Southwest 13,
Minus 14, 24 feet per minute. Lockheed Martin register. Minus 387, 27, 28 up. Minus 223 feet per minute. Minus 210 feet. Speed box visible. Minus 200 feet per minute. Minus 203 feet per minute. Minus 223 feet. Minus 207 feet per minute. Minus 190 feet. Minus 190. Minus 200. Minus 207 feet per minute. Minus 197 feet per minute. Minus 174 feet per minute. Speed box clear. Minus 180, minus 174 feet per minute, 700 at arc 054 degrees, 19.1 volt, DR double 054 degrees, 11.2 and 1 volt, DR double LR 251 slash 12,000, 15,000.
There's no way I'm going to get down there in time.
27,000, 27, minus 151 feet per minute, minus 177 feet per minute. At RTE like 700, the best happens exclusively for the box 27, 3 miles southbound airline 7 miles. Active side repeat, vertical speed, box hold, vertical speed and selected 0.
Negative 584. Negative 584.
Vertical speed, but multiple speed. Press. Speed box.
VNAV off.
CDU messages great. Vertical speed at minus 2500. Minus 102 feet per minute. Minus 112, 260. Minus 150, minus 102 feet per minute. Vertical speed, but multiple speed. Vertical speed at vertical speed. Press. Vertical speed at minus 2500. Vertical speed, but multiple speed. Marking mark register. Minus 11,800. Altitude 26,500. Minus 20,367 feet. 25,000 feet. Spoilers retracted.
VNAV.
VNAV on. Speed brake arm.
Oh, I know what's going on.
Heading to 1 out, Lima, County Tower, 0.9,
VNAV off. Level change mode on. Speed brake arm.
What is going on here? Wait, why is it doing that?
Morning, American 572, we're at 20,000 on the Eagle Rival landing with here. Alpha 565, Seneca Approach 126.6.
Speed brake arm.
Yeah, 584.
You're going way too fast.
That was 2157, French car, space, double on, 1 9 mile. That was 2157, the bigger boat from the next
LNAV off.
What is this thing doing?
Transition altitude.
Pause. Sound off.
Okay.
Greater Total,
Check.
America
Overspeed
572.
Passengers, as
What
you can
is this
see, we
thing
have
doing?
already started descent.
Overspeed
Please
warning.
fasten your seatbelts, return your seats to their upright positions, and
Overspeed
store your
warning. Speed at
luggage
240.
either in the
Land.
overhead
Speed left bracket
compartment
MCP
or
right
at
to
the
rest.
seat in front of you.
Speed at
The
240.
cabin crew
Land.
will
Speed
be
land.
passing by.
United
to
584,
clean
just
up
to
and
maintain
report
freedom.
your final
Flight supplied. Watch your airspeed. Passing 10,000 feet.
This ain't gonna work. Okay.
584, terrain 050, join box, the bitter post.
I've never had problems,
050 to join.
and now all of a sudden we got problems. So, I don't know what's going
Overspeed
on.
warning.
Second 442, traffic 11 o'clock,
Overspeed warning.
10 miles northbound.
I'm gonna do some troubleshooting, but I need to take a breather, think
Overspeed
about it.
warning.
442.
Something with the Bravo, there's settings that this
Overspeed
is
warning.
messing with.
Overspeed warning.
This thing just doesn't work. I don't think good with.
Overspeed warning.
I'm gonna unhook it, and let's see if we still have a problem. I'm not going
Overspeed
to
warning.
live stream that, but then
New scenario, but flight analysis button.
And approach
Reset loads
to
and exit
the
fleet.
afternoon
let me do
American,
some
Lockheed
troubleshooting
Martin
here
registered
and
3D
figure out what the hell is going on.
the Eagle 6 landing 8.
Lockheed Martin registered 3D registered T4 left parent. Not responding right parent with cursor.
Then we'll go from there. Okay.
Overspeed
So,
warning.
that's.
Try 505 Heavy, maintain
I've
250
never had
250 total, I try 505.
Overspeed warning.
anything like that before. I don't know what's going on.
Lockheed Martin registered
Overspeed
3R3D. Act RT7 FS stat exclusive ops 27 ops
So I'll be
27
back.
Warning.
Start recording checkbox.
Let me.
Lockheed Martin normal curse. Normal. Ops 20s control. Start stop streaming. Scene
Overspeed
controls.
Let me
Start-
figure
stop
this out,
streaming, checkbox check.
and I'll